we need to open a box. Inside the student computer math folder, click on loops. We're going to click on loops. We're going to right click for loop test Java. Click download. When you download it, it pops up in the bottom. Click on the arrow, click on show in folder, open up BlueJ. Drag your code into BlueJ. And then right click, compile. Right click.
The old one?
And now see real quick, see how it says void main instead of run applet? You want to click on void main. And then click OK. This should happen on your screen. Realize this goes on forever. And I can't close it. I can't close it because it's an infinite loop. So I minimize it. So minimize your code real quick. And then you have the little barbershop thing. Right click the barbershop thing and click reset Java virtual machine. Now we're going to open this up. We're going to take a look at this. Our starting value is 5. We're incrementing I. Does I ever become less than 4? No. So that means it's an infinite loop. So what we want to do is we want to change this to less than 4. Is I ever less than 4? Shift, comma. No. This 5 is never less than 4 because we're always incrementing. So this doesn't do anything. We skip right over it. Then we go down to this stuff down here, and this is where we want to look at. I already set this code up. Let me explain this code now. This one. We want to see our starting value, our 0, 0 array point. What is the value? 2. How do I get from 2 to 4? I can add 2 or multiply by 2. How do I get from 4 to 6? I can add 2. I can't multiply by 2, right? Okay, so we know to go this way. So if I want to set this up, how do I do it? My starting value, I'm going to work on the inside loop. My starting value is 2, right? How do I get to 2 to 4? What do I do? Add 2. So what code do I put here? Plus equals 2. Good. When do I end?
Equal or less than equal.
We always want to do less than or greater than. So we're going to do less than equal to 8. Go till 8 and stop.
Why don't we use equal?
Wait, what?
Why don't we use equal is equal?
Because if it skips by the number, it'll go on forever. So this is error checking. Yeah. So we have this taken care of, right? Now what we want to do is we want to take care of the vertical. We want to go down. How do I get from 2 to 3? What do I do? Plus 1. How do I get from 8 to 9? What do I do?
Plus 1.
How do I get from 3 to 4? 4 to 5. All the other ones you see is all plus 1, right? So that means, what do I start with my I value? What's my initial I value? Well, this is weird. Now, what I want to figure out is what goes inside here. Right here. Inside this print line. I need I in here, and I need J in here. J represents the inside loop. Do I have to change J at all to get the horizontal, 2, 4, 6, 8? No. Because J is initially 2. You add 2 to get to 8, and you're done. So our J is good. So I'm going to put parentheses around it, just so we understand we don't need to change J. What about this I? We need to know what the initial value of I is. So J is 2, right, initially. J what to I will give me 2. Well, what are we doing
0.
to get from 2 to 3? Are we adding or multiplying? Or dividing? We're adding. So that means we need to put a little addition sign in there. What value of I will it work to get 2 when J is 2? So what we say is 2 plus blank equals 2. 0. Right? So my initial value of I is 0. How many times do we have to operate on this? We need 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I never counted that right. First one is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to do this 4 times. So if we're starting at 0, we go 0, 1, 2, 3. We stop after 3. So what's our conditional? We do less than or equal to 3, that will work. We do less than 4, that'll work. And how do we change I? Plus plus. If you type that into your Java code, it'll work. Do that now. So let me show you what the code should look like, because you guys are probably confused. I should probably just type in the code. You want to change the y to 0, less than equal to 3, plus plus. X is going to be 2. You can change the letters too if you want. I would probably recommend it. And I'm going to change this to plus equals 2. And then down here I have x plus y. And I also have this print line. Realize print is like a typewriter. It goes left to right. Print line is the enter key. So now when I compile and run this, see if I can do this. There we go. When I compile and run this, there's my output. And if you look, my output is the same as what I wanted to get. You need the parenthesis here and here. You need the squirrely bracket here and here. You don't need parentheses around these two. I recommend it, but you don't need to. We want to focus on green. What is our initial value? 1. How do I get from 1 to 2? Plus 1. How do I get from 2 to 3? 3 to 4. 4 to 5. So I'm always adding by 1. So this loop right here is my inside loop. So my value is starting at 1 because this is 1. That's not always the case, but when we're adding, we do. The next one is I'm increasing by 1, j plus plus. And then I do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So when j is less than or equal to 5. It's less than or equal to 5 because I'm starting at 1. It'd be less than 5 if I was starting at 0. So now that we have this done, what we want to do is we want to focus on going down. How do I get from 1 to 2? I add 1. How do I get from 2 to 3? Add 1. But this should also work. How do I get from 5 to 10? I add 1, right? Oh, right. What's wrong here? If this works here, it should work over here, because it did on the last one. Add 1, add 1. But I'm not adding 1, am I? What else can I do to get from 5 to 10? I can add by 5, but adding by 5 doesn't work here. Multiply by 2. How do I get from 2 to 15? Uh-oh. I'm not multiplying by 2 anymore, am I? Multiply by 3 over 2. 2 times, that works. What about 3 to 4? Can I multiply by 3 over 2? No. Well, what the heck? How come this isn't working? Now, this is where it becomes fun. You have a variable, j, and you have all this stuff down here. If I just take j and say print out j, what's the value of j here? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If I take this 5 and do something to it, can I get 10?
Yeah.
What do? Multiply by 2. If I take this 5 and do something to it, how do I get 5? Multiply by 1. If I take this 5 and do something to it, how do I get 15? Multiply by. Now let's take this and do it on the flip side. 1 times 2. 1 times 1. 1 times 3. 1 times 4. Question. What is this 1, 2, 3, 4? Because it looks really neat, doesn't it? How do I get this number to change? A variable.
5.
5. What do I start at?
1.
What value do I end at?
1/4.
Less than or equal to 4. How do I increase it? Plus plus. How do I get it to get this value? What's the equation to get this value? I have my j, which is 5. What do I do with 5? What do I multiply at 5? 2 would be close. I would multiply 5 by 2 to get 10. But what is 2? Because it's not 2. It's something else. It's something that changes. A variable that changes from 1 to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's j times I. And this will work. What I want you to do is try these two. And try to put it inside this code. Okay, red and blue. I'm going to go back to this so you can see. I'm going to go back to this so you can see the code how to do red. Learn how to get these patterns. Because the first thing you should be doing is circle 5. Draw the arrow over. Once you get that, go like this. Go like this. Find out what the patterns are. Do the math. Figure it out. If you just go straight to code, you're going to be here all day. You're never going to get it done. Guaranteed. And the best part is, you might get lucky. Yeah, you got one right. Now do it on a harder problem. You're not going to be able to. Then come test time, where I give you 3 of these. You got to do it during the test, as well as everything else. Yeah, good luck.